Okay, welcome. I'm gonna go live. This dress is just one of those things that I don't really know how I should wear it. Maybe I should wear it like this. Okay, I think that's what I would do. All right, beauties. Welcome. Just going live right now. Welcome, beauties. Thank you for being here today. It's such an honor, it's such a pleasure to be with you on this final finale run of Lantern Bearers. So, welcome, allowing all of you to stream in. Welcome. I see names popping up, but if you can say hello, I would love that. Let's humanize this beautiful space as I open up the sacred grid here. Please allow yourself to feel into the frequency that is so potent already today. We are at the 1212 gate. This gateway is just the beginning. It's just the beginning of a month where the sacred light is continuing to amplify and is going to draw even more light down onto earth. And it will culminate on the winter solstice, and then gently and quietly it's going to start to move in a very earthly way. And I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that. So say hello. I want to connect with your energy. I want to connect with your luminosity. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I see. All right, I see hello from Florence. Hello, Florence. Hello, Ricky. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Louisa, you're the one who's been here all the way. Thank you, my love. I see you. I honor you. I'm so grateful for all of you for being here. So, I am so excited today. I was really sitting with this energy, this powerful 1212 portal energy that is moving towards us and through us and as us. So let me know how you're feeling. Just drop a little comment. What is moving through you? What has this masterclass brought up in you if you've already caught up with the replay? Or what is drawing you into this place in the first place? If this is your first day on this entire masterclass, this 3-day masterclass. So let me know. And also just logistics to get out of the way before we dive fully into this beautiful vortex that we're going to go into together. The replays will be sent out after the live sessions have ended, and you will get them in your email. So if you're registered, you're going to get them in your email. You will get to access the specific playlist that's on YouTube. This is not going to live on my Instagram grid. So I just want you to know that. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you for showing up, for your presence, whether it is on the live or beyond space and time, which is really where we are moving through together, to be honest, as souls. So before we move in, I want to bring you gently into this beautiful space together. As I was preparing the field today, I sat with what needed to arise and for us to really look at. Oh, Louisa. See, Louisa is such a leading light. I said so. I called it first. so, so moving with that field that I was preparing for today's masterclass, I was sitting here in this very same room in a totally different dimension. And I remember I was spinning my tea bowl as I was sitting in ceremony with tea. And I was cleansing the bowl and I was watching the water fall into the other wastewater bowl that I have to catch that water. And I saw the steam rising from it. And in that one moment, I was completely thrown. Literally, I felt like I was thrown into the embrace of God. And that beautiful feeling is exactly where I would love to start off with and bring you into today. If you'd like to take a deep breath with me, And allow yourself to slowly exhale into your entire body, that pelvic bowl that is holding you as you're seated here or standing too, is always holding you. And from that pelvic bowl, there's always this shimmering light that is wanting to rise and rise and rise. And I would love to invite you today to really just allow that shimmering light to rise further up into your heart, right into the space of this beautiful window where your radiance, where your light can shine right through you. Just allow yourself to feel into that. Allow your soul to come fully forward to be nourished. Let your soul remind you of a time when human consciousness was first waking up to the absolute power and magic and beauty and colors of this world. Breathe and be breathed by this sacred presence. Can you feel your soul being nourished? By this world that you're starting to remember, that you've never actually really forgotten. A world that is so alive with the grandeur of God. It was a very beautiful time, wasn't it? Really allow yourself to really feel your soul. Get to know every part of your soul, like you're touching the face, the hands. Touch the soul's heart. Touch the soul's every single cell of light. Come deeper into this meeting with the sacred within the human, the sacred within the earth. Let the soul bring you to that time when she celebrated her experience in this world through the sacred within creation. This meeting between the light within the human and the light within the world. Lumen Day, the light within the human, the light of God. And that is how the soul journeyed through this world for many years and was nourished by this world. Today, at this portal especially, we are remembering more than ever this memory of a very, very beautiful time. So allow yourself to access that. Allow yourself to really hug your soul, to see your soul. And you may feel those moments when you abandoned your soul, when you disregarded your soul coming up. And you may feel sorry for it. But you know the soul knows there is nothing to be sorry about. Have that moment with your soul in this beautiful stillness, this numinosity, where everything is sacred. You are the one, my love. You are the one who can bring the divine God back into the center of your soul. Take a deep breath from beneath you. Let your breath enter your belly, your wisdom center. Do not skip that part of your body. Continue to inhale into your solar plexus, all the way up into your heart. Open up that channel of light. Fill up your heart. Fill up the back of your heart, the front of your heart. Let it fill. Fill up your chest. Release the sternum. And exhale all the way out into the field. Let your light move, ripple out. I'd like to take a moment here with your soul. There's nothing you need to do, really. Just allow yourself to really be held, to be present. Feel the presence of your soul within you. We don't spend enough time with the soul, do we? Here we are. Here we are. Let's take a moment here. Slowly, gently allow yourself to come back to the physical body. Let the soul really take part in your entire physical body. Like you're putting on this beautiful coat, this beautiful veil, in this beautiful moment. How does it feel to be the soul? It's not easy, eh? It's not the easiest thing to really stay within, to be with the soul, to be with that stillness. I remember when I first started going for Qigong lessons in the temple. I remember my teacher started saying that, nowadays everyone is watching television, but hardly anyone really watches their spine. And when we started to go intensively into the practice of watching our spine, so much moved, so much was arising, so much, literally, the feeling of being in the body is so astounding. And there was a very beautiful incident in my life when I was recovering from many, many years of body image issues, disorders, where I started to really heal the body, not just physically, but actually spiritually. And ironically, the way in at first was physical. I was seeing a nutritionist, I was getting all the hormonal jabs and everything, and nothing really helped. I kept yo yo recovering. I relapsed and then I recovered. I relapsed and I recovered for almost 10 years until I actually had a health issue that really called me to examine the way I was living. And in that moment, I made a choice. I said, I'm going to take care of myself. I don't want to live in a life where I'm afraid anymore. I was afraid of eating. I was afraid of having a relationship with anyone because I was so afraid that that was going to trap me. I was so afraid to dream, even. And so in that moment, I made a choice and I knew it wasn't going to be easy. But somehow the universe was so great, the divine God was so incredible because I was going through a time when I wasn't even spiritually attuned at all. But in hindsight, I can see right now that it led me to little things, like really, really tiny things, like people that I was meeting, people who just said like one little thing. Like I met a sound healer who said to me, do you know how much the universe loves you? That the universe gave you this big thing, how much the universe actually loves you to give you this, to entrust you with this experience. And I was like, at that time, I was like, what the F, what are you talking about? This is so horrible. I feel like I'm gonna die. Like, I really feel like I'm gonna die. And you're telling me that the universe loves me? God, like, what the F? Like, seriously, what is this? And and even when I went to see the doctors about my health issue, like nobody was able to diagnose what it was. I was eventually bounced around different departments because nobody could give me a real diagnosis. And I ended up in the eye department. And some of you probably know this story already. I met this eye doctor who's like a little tiny grandmother, like super cute. And she took a look at me and she's like, okay, so you were sent here because nobody could really tell you what's going on. And I'm going to tell you this. I was like, uh-huh, okay, what? Because I'm desperate now. I just need to know. Like, just give me what I need, okay? And I remember she took a look at me and she said, You just need to chill. Like, you really need to chill. You need to start looking into meditation. You need to start to look into yoga. And you're not allowed to go running or do any more intensive exercises until your foot is actually healed. So my foot was injured, and I also had a big thyroid around my face at the time. And I was staring at her. I was like, meditation? What the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? But I was like, okay, right. You know what? I need to get serious about healing this because it's horrible. It doesn't feel comfortable and it hurts. And I need to deal with this, right? I need to do whatever they're telling me to do. And so I started to look into yoga. I started to look into meditation. And after a few weeks of starting to do yoga, I experienced my first ever full body experience where I could feel myself moving in my body. And that was so freaking amazing. Flash forward a few years later, sitting here with you, being with you, I know that you have probably had many, if not a few, transcendental experiences before. So what I'm telling you is probably nothing new. But what really has come up for me as I was called to host this masterclass, not to serve anyone else but my soul. I'm called to illuminate this part of your life, and we get to look at this with full honesty, you and I together, of how much do we really, really, really see our soul. Please take a deep breath. I wonder if you've ever had moments when you would think, if I followed my soul, would that jeopardize my reality? If I followed what my soul wants, will that compromise all the material accolades and rewards that I have in my life? If I followed my soul, does that mean that I can't have wealth anymore? If I followed my soul, does that mean I can't have beautiful things anymore in my life? If I followed my soul, I'll be very lonely. If I followed my soul, I'll be doing something that nobody can understand, and that scares the hell out of me. If you can let me know, if you wish to, of course, no pressure. Let me know in the comments if you're here. What comes up when you feel into if I followed my soul? And what is that biggest resistance that's coming up when you say that? If I followed my soul, if I served my soul, does that mean I'm selfish? If I said to you, I'm here because I'm serving my soul, does that mean I'm selfish? We want to leave a legacy. We want to change the world. We see this all the time. Let's do this so that we can change the world. Let's, join this mentorship so we can change the world. And I always felt like there was something missing in that. And the more I deepen into that question, that contemplation, the more I realized that actually my truth is that I really feel that we're not here to change the world. We can't change the world. We can facilitate the change. The change is inevitable, but we can't be the one to change the world. And please take a deep breath. Louisa is saying, I feel I am not allowed to follow the soul, right? I always question, can I follow my soul? I am very afraid of this. Can you feel the illusion in this already, Louisa? Can you feel the separation when you say this? Rike, I am scared to follow my soul. What will happen? And I feel this smiling energy when I'm reading that because I feel like you already are following your soul. And yet this human is saying, I'm scared. And you know what the real separation is? Part of the beautiful legacy of what we just had together when we were starting off with that beautiful activation of nourishing your soul is that there was that beautiful time. There was that beautiful time when our soul was nourished by the earth and God was everywhere in the earth. God was alive in the rivers, the rocks, the trees. But the soul of the earth also went through an evolution. And God was no longer just in the earth. God became to be found in the heavens too. And I know it may go against everything that you have always known about God. And that's okay. But this was what I saw. I saw God who is no longer caught in creation. God is now beyond creation once again. And the soul begins to meet creation in different ways now. The soul starts to feel like a dream. And you can actually still see this in some very ancient cave paintings. You can see that when they drew a horse or a snake or a buffalo or whatever it is, there's a numinous quality to it because that was how they were. There was a very sacred energy that ran through all of these things. And religion followed from there. And humans started to materialize a lot of the sacred understanding, the sacred text, the sacred transmission. And this is where we come into the shadows of materialism, because it became denser and denser to be human. And the soul started to become more and more numinous to the point where it feels like it's so separate, the human and the soul, the human and the soul, when actually you are the soul. And so it's a moment here where you get to really see and start to walk as the soul, that there is no difference between you and your soul. And I can feel the caginess in my chest when I read your words. The rib cage starts to tighten. It's like the corset that they put us into, the corset that they put women into for years and years and years. No wonder we started to adopt a way of living that was more mental than spiritual because we had to survive. We had to find a way to survive. You can feel the light within you. How can that be separate from you? How can serving your soul be separate from serving the world, serving the people that you love in that case? When everything is an energetic match to who you are being in every moment. Feel into that. Yesterday, I said that visions are God gifts. They're God's gifts. And that's only the first step, the first doorway. You have free will to take it and fully run with it, bring it to life, or not. Or maybe bring it 70%, 50%, 30% alive. God won't be upset with you. The divine is not going to be upset with you. The divine is just going to come back around another time with a similar situation and different players and ask you, okay, well, what about this time? Would you like to take it on this time? Are you ready this time? And I want you to really understand that this journey to the depth of your soul, it's actually bottomless. Is it very high? Yes. And I trust that if you're here, you're probably just like me. We can go very high, but it's about descending in order to ascend. And that level of ascension is actually collective because now you're right here. You are a mystic in the world, but you're not deluded by the illusions of separation. And so, if you understand that the soul, the journey to the depth of your soul, is actually bottomless, then it's important to understand that there will be moments when you can feel your soul, you can absolutely be energized by it, but not to cling on to that experience in the sense of, oh, I need to have that experience in order to remember who I am. It's this deep knowing that I am that. And these moments, these experiences, they can arise very spontaneously. You know, some people can sit in meditation for years and years and they can't feel anything. And then there are some people who are walking through the supermarket and suddenly they see God. It's a gift. It's not something that you can work hard for. Again, another illusion. Work harder for your spiritual growth. Work harder, be better, do better, look nicer, look more polished, perfect your soul, perfect this, perfect that. When all along, your soul has been right here, just like your spine has always been here, but you haven't even been looking at her. You know, I remember distinctly the first time I actually felt my soul. Not just see her, I've seen her many times. But that moment when I allowed myself to feel her, I felt like crying thousands of years of tears. I felt apologies. I felt this, my heart was breaking. I felt her sadness. I felt her joy. I felt her lightness. I felt everything. It's a lot of energy. And this is where I really say sincerely to have spiritual mentorship, because it's a lot. It's not something you're meant to take on your own. It's really important to understand what it is as well, because I remember when I was walking through those experiences on my own, I was sharing my divine transcendental experiences, but nobody could understand it. And I started to think I was crazy. And at that time, and now I know, obviously, it's a conversation between me and God. That's all. I don't need to prove it or tell people about it or have people validate it. But back at the time, I was like, oh my God, why doesn't everyone have this experience? Everyone should have this experience. Everyone should feel God move through them. And did you know that the great Mother Teresa, she had an experience with the living Christ, a very profound experience. And when she passed, they actually read in her diary that she never ever had that experience ever again. She searched and searched and waited and waited. And she never had that experience ever again. But she kept trotting along. She kept doing her thing. She kept doing her saintly work. And so I ask you, in every moment that you can feel your soul, do you see that it is a gift from God? Do you see how divine that is? And if I could tell you, if I could just take away time and you understood that this is the very, very now moment and that is it. Like there's no other moment, there is no other time. How would that feel? Can you see it? Because when I feel into that frequency, I literally feel like the divine is everywhere. It's literally in every word, every imperfect word that I utter, in every word that you say. And it doesn't have to be anything that is, profound. It's literally in those words that you say when you when you walk out of the door every day and say, I'm coming home soon. I'll see you later. Every time you put down that phone and say goodbye. Every time you hold up the phone, hello. Every time you see me and say hello. I'm glad to be here. I'm grateful to share. All those moments, God is here. Every moment I share tea is exactly it. God is in those bowls. Every time I see my client in the screen, every time we share, every time we talk, every time we're on a mentorship call, my heart soars, knowing that this could be the last time. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm not even sure what's going to happen in the next hour. Truly. And I have no fucking idea why God or consciousness decided to take a body of a Chinese woman sitting here to talk to you, but I'm letting that channel through. I have no fucking clue how we even woven our threads of timelines and got together at this point to be together. But we are here. If this is anything to leave behind, I wish for you to know that you're not separate from your soul. And you know, the more you compromise on your soul's desires, the more you dampen your soul's calling, the quieter the soul will be. It's not going to go away, but the soul is always going to just be quieter and quieter and quieter and quieter. And all you will do is continue to try to find a replacement for that outside of you. And for the ones who are afraid, here's what I can tell you. It's very, very, very natural to feel afraid as a human because we don't know what we don't know. And also, it is really crucial that you understand that it is your spiritual purpose to arrive here as a human, to do exactly that, to follow your soul's calling, because that is going to expand your vessel to contain more light. And that is actually going to allow you to become enlightened. And it's really important. And this isn't about becoming a guru or, becoming a sage and leaving behind the world and going to the mountains. This era is asking us to do this work because we are ascending with the earth. Our frequency as the light is going to go beyond the density that we are known for now. So the lumen day, the light of the human being, is an emanation from you, from the very pure divine light. Yesterday, I told you, in very ancient terms, it's called lux. And this is something that has to happen through boots on the ground experiences. It cannot be something that you simulate. And it's crazy to talk about this even because there are people who are trying to simulate this. They are trying to simulate the the way to ascend without doing the hard work. Hard work. The hard work is understanding your emotions, be so all embracing of all your human emotions, stop pushing away your soul's voice and calling, and understanding what the unknown truly is, not just from the human perspective, but from the soul's perspective. And that is when you can truly, completely, finally be free. Because as you continue to cling on to identities that you were, what happened to you, which all has actually happened for your evolution, but you are clinging on to them as a form of identity not to do what you need to do now, then you're going to continue to feel stuck. Please breathe. Your breath is spirit arriving into your body. Every breath is so sacred. Louisa saying, I wish for this masterclass with you to meet the sacred in my life, to cherish every little thing, to face my fear of luxury, to ride my white horse to be me. Yeah. Yeah. The door is open. I also feel that, I think that's why so many people fear luxury or resist it or think it's a evil thing or a bad thing. Again, hijacked, completely hijacked. Just like the sacred has been hijacked. And it really is upon us those who are multidimensional, those who can resonate with the frequency of what I'm saying here, because not everyone can. It's really upon us to walk the talk. Can't be going out there on our high horse and preaching on other people, telling them that they need to change first for us to feel happy when we don't even look at our own shit. Because everything, I repeat, everything in our life is a complete energetic match to where we're at, whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, take a good look at why you're not liking it and what truth it is pointing at in you. And this is how I live. I don't say it just because, I'm saying it to you. I say it because I do it myself. And this is how I cut through the BS straight to the point with my clients as well. And I'm so grateful that they tune in and they really resonate with it. They open up to it. There's no resistance at all. It's so amazing. And I think it's really because I allow the divine to come into action through me. And when the divine is in action, love is in action. The sacred is everywhere. The sacred is everywhere. So I'm just feeling into the energy right now. I feel that I would like to open up the space and see how everyone's feeling. love this music. I don't know if you can hear it. Okay, saying I'm so relaxed and all calm inside. Something has moved into place. Louisa, I feel connected and willing to do the work. Breathe. There's something that wants to come through when I read those words. Florence, hello. I didn't know you were still here. It must be getting late. And you're saying, I feel when you embrace your soul, you are also at peace with the darkness. It's not separate. It's not separate. On day one, I said, when a woman was asking me, what is your contribution to your clients? And I said, I am nothing, nothing. That nothing is that complete darkness because it's so limitless. It's free. And I often feel that it's important to, I don't want to say clarify, but I want to really be very clear that there are also certain parts of the old paradigm ways of being where we're constantly being told that we need to work and do the work, to do the work, constantly need to do more, become more. Even in the spiritual space now, I see it often. If you don't have that, if you're not doing this at this place, then you're nothing. Or like if you don't move fast enough, then you're not this and you're not that. And it's not true. Yeah, you know that. I know that. And the incredible thing about the soul's work, is that you learn the work is in allowing the soul to work on you. So a lot of the work actually is in the unbecoming. A lot of the work is actually in the surrendering. A lot of the work is actually in deep, deep, deep communion with the sacred, with your soul. You gotta be with yourself. You gotta be with that. And not buy into the story of all of the things that are coming up. And take a deep breath. This is the part where I really love going into the nitty-gritty with my clients, because it's so easy to buy into the story, whether it is your success story or your, the story of you when you failed. I remember doing this myself, sitting with it, and people were telling me, you need to sit with your inner child. You need to give your inner child all the love. And I realized, and I remember sitting there with T, and I asked T, show me what I need to know about this work with my inner child. And I remember sharing this with my mentor at the time, and she was she was very big on inner child things. And if I look back now, I probably wouldn't have worked with her at this point, but at the time, it was what was called to me at the time. But I remember telling her, when I spoke to my inner child, she told me she wants to be free to grow up, just exactly how she wants to be. And my job is not to continue to mother her like she's a child. My job is to allow her to grow up. Allow her to take on the frequency of the dragon, to take on, Louisa, the frequency of the white horse, to stop fighting, to stop buying into all the stories of why we couldn't be who we were. And that's how we can start to really move with the soul. It begins with stillness, as I said on day one. If you haven't tuned into that, all of you here, I know Louisa has, but it's also good to tune into that again, because is it a mental stillness that I'm feeling? Or is that really true stillness? Right? And this is something we do every day. It's like hygienic routine. We do it every day. We want to be with the soul. It's not something you just do in a retreat and say, okay, I'm done. It's every day. It's every fucking day. Some days I'm waiting. Some days I'm sitting here. Like, okay, I don't feel anything. Some days it's like constant. Oh. And some days it's real life experience, like boom, I'm triggered. Oh, God, that woman, that man, it's dynamic. That's why we're here. That's why we have this body, to feel, to taste, to touch, to cry, to rage, to laugh, to smell. And to live what I call a life of ceremony really is to be with all of that. All of that. And to be so unapologetic about you investing in your building of your vessel of light. So unapologetic. We got to stop treating our spiritual life as a side dish. It's the main dish, for God's sake. Because that informs everything in your life. And I'm not talking about like whether you are, you're religious, or you have a religion, a Buddhist or a Christian or whatever. I'm talking about your spiritual development. Your strength, your wisdom comes from spiritual development. Full stop. So if you are a mentor, if you are a light leader, if you're a spiritual leader of any sorts, whatever you do, doesn't matter. It's your presence, it's your energy, it's your frequency. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? A lot of spiritual leaders do it because they're still trying to fix their inner child's desires. A lot of spiritual leaders are still doing it to prove their point. So why are you doing what you're doing? Why is it important for you to hear your soul? Why is it important for you to see your soul? Why? So, one of the things that I feel like is slowly bringing us to completion that I want to share is that I have a real, I stand by this myself through action. This spiritual work, this spiritual preservation, spiritual development. I invest in myself. I invest in my development. I also support what I believe in, which is living tea. When I work with tea in ceremony, I work with very specific types of tea. And one of the biggest things that I've done so far, aside from supporting farmers and working directly with the farmers and the artisans, is that I'm actually going to bring 8 women to the most beautiful ancient lands that not everyone actually has access to. And it's going to happen in April next year. It's actually a beautiful way for me, I feel, to show you that you are sacred luxury, for you to feel that, and also to support an environment that literally sings and hums with sacred luxury frequency uncompromisingly. You know, they spend so many years growing the tea trees, creating that environment in the depth of the mountains. But there were so many people who said, nobody's going to buy your tea. It's so hard to take the tea out from the mountains. It's not going to cost much, what you're doing. And they were so poor, and they kept going and going and going. And today, the tea from this area that we're going to, Ruishan, is one of the most expensive teas ever to acquire in the world. And this isn't because they jacked up the price or whatever. This is because they, through the years when no one believed in them, when demand wasn't that high, they continue to harness and hone in on their craft. How to create, not how I want the tea leaves to be like, but to bring out the essence, to bring out the best out of the leaves, of what they want to show to us, what they want to taste like, how they want to smell like. And everything I tell you about tea isn't just about tea. It's about you as a human, it's about you as a divine. And everything I share about tea, in my hope, is that you get to remember and actually really feel the imprints in you come alive as the divine feminine, as the sacred luxury that you are. And let's be real, I'm not just talking about your pure divine light, like it's formless, that's formless. But in a form, you deserve the fucking best. You deserve to invest in yourself when some other people tell you, like, God, I can't understand how you can invest in yourself in that way. Like, what? How much did you pay for that? What? You know how many times I had people tell me that in my life from people that I love, that I respect? And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm who I am today. That's why I can do the work that I'm doing right now. That's why I'm still here after many, many, many times where I was sitting in an empty room where no one turned up. And so this is something that I really want to share with you, because it isn't about, yes, I love the pure divine light. I love the divine. Oh, yes, yes, I feel the divine. Okay, now what? It's not separate from your reality. It's not. And you get to let that into your life. You get to choose to let that into your life and blow your freaking mind. Because when the divine is in operation, your mind is blown. Like, how did that even happen? How did that even come into my life? Like, I don't know. God in the works. My client and I, we have this, I always tell her, like, There are so many unemployed angels out there, by the way, that you don't even know how, like, they want to help you, but you gotta evoke them. You gotta ask them to come. They're not gonna just move because you have free will. They can't just, they can't just do what you want them to help you with. And my client and I are always talking about that, like how all these incredible little miracles and big miracles are happening in her life. And like, she's always saying like, yes, I asked about the unemployed angels. And this is just that little tiny window into what is possible when you truly see the sacred in your life. The sacred within you, the sacred all around you, it's never separate. It's never separate. If there's anything you can take from this masterclass, you're not separate from the soul. It's just that you decided, I'm going to suppress that part of me. I'm going to cut that off like a limb that you cut off. And now I'm going to try to operate in the world like I'm whole, but actually there's one limb that's gone. How is that even possible, my loves? How is that even possible? Tell me. How? And even people who physically are discombobulated, like disembodied, the minute they can feel the frequency of that part of their body, it comes alive. This is how powerful you are. So please, if there's anything I can end with today, please don't stop. Yes, separation is an illusion, and some people, they love it when you play into that. They're like, yes, now she's gonna buy my problems, my products that can fix her problems. The more problems they think they have, the more these people are gonna make more money. And so it's important for us to put our money in the right places, because this is where we are literally channeling our frequency into. And stop buying into the story that you don't have money, that you don't have enough resources, that you don't have. Those are all illusions of separation, you see? All illusions of separation. All right, my loves. I feel like we're coming to a completion here. Once again, I just want to say thank you so much for your presence. This masterclass is in service of your soul through serving my soul. And I don't have anything I want to pitch to you. I do want to welcome you if you wish to explore the retreat with me, to come on the retreat. The early bird price is alive right now. It will be active until the end of the month. So if you want to explore that, a payment plan whatsoever, please send me a DM. And my mentorship doors are open right now. There is one group container that is open, and it's called the Temple of Light. And there's another one called the Room Between Worlds. So these are available right now, and also one-to-one opportunities. If you want to explore all of that, I highly recommend just reaching out on a DM. I'm not going to sell you anything, okay? I'm not going to say like push onto you anything. I will offer you the options, and you can decide as the soul how you want to move from there. But if you want to have a human interaction, you can also book a call with me. If there are slots available, we can have a moment together. But if there's a move you want to make and walk with me into the new year, you're very welcome to come into my private DMs and chat. Could listen to you for hours. Thank you, my love. All right, my loves. I love you so much. I genuinely love you, and thank you so much for being here. I honestly thought no one's going to come to this masterclass, which would be fine as well. I would just have continued talking anyway. But your presence here with me live and on the replay, I really appreciate you. And thank you, thank you for being part of this legacy that I'm building. So let's take a moment. Shall we complete together with this beautiful consecration? Here I am. Here I am, sacrificing my resistance to surrender, my fears of my soul's calling, sacrificing my scarcity mentality and anything else that is an illusion, that is clouding my light. Here I am sacrificing them all as an offering to the gods, on the altars of the gods, so that it can liberate me, so that it can finally set me free. Here I am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessings.